Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been following me since January of 2023, you will know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversations that surround physical and mental health issues and concerns. And I brought up my journey through thyroid cancer to help start this conversation. Because as you know, anytime that someone talks about any ailment, or whether they've been victimized or they have something going on mentally, that when they talk about it, that they will automatically be judged. They put themselves out there to be picked apart, to be ridiculed, to be asked questions of things of that nature, to where it can be uncomfortable, and it could really, really harm your self-esteem. But with Embracing the Fight, the idea is to start talking about these things to help other people grow. So the problem is there's so many things that have gone on, through the generations, that we are afraid to speak on, that those things continue to go throughout the generations, and then they show up in other generations later on down the line, because it's something that we did not face head on. So with Embracing the Fight, if you haven't already, I ask that you click like, you click subscribe, and you share these messages. And also, if you're interested in being on Embracing the Fight to help break some of these generational curses, break these chains, and to help others to grow and help others move forward, please just send me a message to operations@diversitydesigned.com. Again, that's operations@diversitydesigned.com. So on this episode of Embracing the Fight, we're going to say that aging is more than a number. Aaliyah had that song out, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And, people ran with it because it was talking about, relationships between either, an older, let's just say an older person and a younger person, significant, age difference, not like 2-3 years, maybe like 10, 15 years. And they found love, and it had nothing to do with their age. But in this case, I'm saying that age is more than just a number, because you start to see the signs of aging, as you get older. So think about it like this. If you know me, you'll know, or let's just say you watched, Embracing the Fight, you'll know that my hair is salt and pepper. This is a sew-in. I decided to change it up a little bit. And ladies, if you're out there and you're thinking about dyeing your hair, you're thinking about, trying a wig or a quick weave, or if you just want to, get a crochet or something to change it up, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because you see beauty in yourself differently, say, than the next person, sees it. So it's mainly about, how you feel at the age that you're actually at. And if, you look good, you feel good, right? So I don't know a lot of people that, just, I guess I'd be telling a story, because I do know a lot of people that dye their hair, but I don't know a lot of people that, wear wigs like on a consistent basis. They'll dye their hair, of course, just to, keep that youthful look to it. But what I'm saying is, as you age, you can, it's okay, to hold on to some of those things because of how it makes you feel. Not that you're trying to be younger or you're trying to be someone else or something else. You are just still looking at the best version of yourself, that you feel about yourself. So like I was saying, I noticed, things about myself when, it talks about, or when you think about aging. Like I said, my hair is salt and pepper. And the funny thing is, I remember, I'd say it had to be about 10 years back. And I was in the Birmingham area, and a lot of ladies had gotten together to play tennis. And we were at this one particular lady's house. And she made the comment that she knew that she was getting old when the hair on other parts of her body, started to turn colors. And it was like, what? She was like, girl, I got gray hair down there. And it was just like, oh, really? You don't think about it. You can have gray hair wherever hair grows out of your body. It just depends, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you're like really old or anything because you have gray hair. It's just that your hair follicles have lost, their pigment that and that comes with aging usually. But I know a couple of people, like I've had gray hair since I was like 15. I had been dyeing my hair since, I was in high school, all the way up, through college. And then a couple of years ago, maybe 3, 4 years ago, I decided, hey, just let it go. Because there's so many other things, that are in those dyes that could potentially be harmful to me. And I don't know, what's causing it or not. But I'm not saying it for you to stop, dyeing your hair. There are natural products out there that you can use to dye your hair, change your hair color, whatever. I'm just saying that it no longer works for me. So if I just purchase some hair and put it on top of my hair, it's not because I'm trying to pretend like, oh, I got, long, curly, jet black hair, because I know my hair is long, salt and pepper and thick. So either way, I just like, to change it up every so often to get a new look. Has nothing to do with me trying to deny the age that I am. So another thing that you notice, as you age, um, people that have pigmented skin, 9 times out of 10, or should I say pigmented, melanated skin, um, they don't have as many wrinkles and lines and things of that nature. Sure, we have, a few little smile and laugh lines. But I mean, as far as the wrinkles on the forehead and, under the eyes and the chin and the arms and different parts of your body, we people of color don't usually have a whole lot of that until you get, well advanced, in age, not say your 40s or 50s. But wrinkles are also a sign, physical sign of aging. One other thing that you should look at as you age is like age spots. Initially, I used to be like, hey, I'm getting freckles. And I went to a dermatologist and he says, well, some of them are freckles, but some of them are actually age spots. But hey, age spots, freckles, they all look the same to me. And initially I thought it was because of sun damage from playing tennis, but it comes with age. Now, if you're the person that doesn't want those little freckles or those little age spots, you can naturally bleach those out of your skin. You can, put lemon juice. If you're not allergic to lemon juice, you can put that on your skin as well as peroxide, and it helps to lighten them. Now, if that doesn't necessarily work for you, you can also see a dermatologist. They will take lasers and they can literally, burn it off, get it off of your skin if you don't like the way the freckles look. I kind of like them, so I plan on keeping them. Something else when it comes to physical aging, your body does not feel or act the same. I was looking, on TikTok, and there's a guy on there that was showing, the difference between when you were 20 and 25 going upstairs, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, the age groups. And what was funny to me is when it got to my age group, it didn't even have stairs anymore. It was like, excuse me, where's the elevator? So I walk upstairs, but I promise you, I am one of those people that's really looking for an elevator if I want to get up there quick. But I can still, ascend and descend stairs with, a little bit of effort, not a whole lot, but I can go up and downstairs if I need to. But having an elevator definitely is a luxury. So when you think about physical aging besides the aesthetic part of it, think about what it does, to your body. Sure, you hear about people having muscle loss, because as you age, you're not as active, you don't lift as much, and it takes a little bit more for you to maintain, your muscle mass. So if you're not lifting, if you're not doing some form of exercise, or if you're not, doing as much physical activity in your home, like if you're not making up beds, if you aren't like vacuuming, ironing, cleaning floors, things of that nature, things that will cause you to use your muscles every day, then you'll notice that you'll have a little bit less muscle definition as you age. And then something else you need to consider, you walking and you hear that little clicking, that little popping going on, that's a little bit of little arthritis. Now, there are studies out there that say that glucosamine and chondroitin can help slow down the progression, of arthritis. So I started taking some osteobiflex because, from playing tennis for over it's been 32 years now that I've been playing tennis, and my knees like click and pop, and sometimes my elbow will try to act up a little bit, but like elbow, you have nothing on these knees because we have to walk. I started to take the osteobiflex, the one that has the turmeric in it as well. And I've noticed, that my knees, feel better. And then I'm riding my bike and I'm going to the gym and I'm doing, other things to help strengthen the muscles around the affected joints. And it is literally, doing wonders. When before I was thinking, oh, I need a shot, or oh, I might need surgery. I need to wear these braces. I need to do this. I need to do that. Sometimes it just takes a moment to sit down and say, what is the main component of this joint? Sure, you think about drinking milk and taking calcium tablets and things of that nature. Sure, when you were young, they helped to build, the strength in your teeth and your bones. But what helps to protect it, to keep it that way? A lot of people don't understand that muscles really are what help to protect your joints. So if you've got really strong quad and you have really strong calves, they're protecting that knee that's in between, because the muscle is basically taking on all the shock of you walking, running, jumping, skipping, flipping, anything where you would normally use your knees. Those muscles are contracting and they are moving and they're doing everything, and your knee is just focusing on what it should do, and that's just be a hinge, either to allow you to step up, step down, step across, over, jump, do all those different things that you could normally do when you're standing upright, playing a game, or running, exercising, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Your knee is just there to help with your mobility, to help, to hinge, to move your body forward. And if your muscles are strong, it helps to protect the integrity, of your knee. So I'm not saying don't wear, a knee brace, because at this age, if your muscles aren't strong, you already have arthritis. Sometimes wearing a brace can help to add the extra support you need to walk with little pain or no pain at all. So you also want to think about bone deficient diseases like osteoporosis, where your bones literally are becoming brittle. There's medication that you can take, to help that, but this is something that you would need to go and see a doctor and talk to them about how your bones, how your joints, feel. And, there's varying levels of arthritis, because you've got, rheumatoid arthritis and you got regular, arthritis. There's other types that you need to know, what it is that you have in order for it to be treated properly, because all medications for arthritis don't work for each kind. They work specifically to deal with that particular type of arthritis. So now that you've thought about, the physical aspect of it, what about, this is physical too, your eyes, being able to see. So a lot of people, imagine that they see what I see, but when I don't have my glasses on or I don't have any contacts on, I don't see anybody. Okay, everything is a blur. I have a very, very high astigmatism, and nothing is clear to me if I don't have corrective lenses on of some sort. And I was told, when I was young, that my cornea was too thin to actually have LASIK surgery to, correct for this stigmatism. So I've, had to live with it, all my life. Well, I should say all my life. It was after I was in a car accident when I was 15 that my vision started to be like really, really weak. Because prior to that, I had 20/20 vision. Like I felt like I could see through walls. But they always tell you anyway, even when you hit 40, that your vision would deteriorate. Now, what's funny to me is that my mom actually went and had, cataract surgery. When she did that, she started to be able to see, dots and lines on the wall. She could see mosquitoes and all kind of stuff, flying by in another room. It's like, wait a minute. Here I am, 30 years younger than she is, and I can't even see my fingers in front of my face if I take off my glasses or my contact. But a lot of that comes with aging. Sure, you could argue that genetics helps a lot with it too, but that's my mom. She can see it, I can't. So I'm saying that I got, the portion of the spectrum where I was going to have vision issues after that accident anyway. So, there's that. Another thing that people, I haven't noticed it to be, as common anymore. You know how like when you were a little kid, people who are, let's say 35 and older, you remember grandma having that cup and she'd take her teeth out, and put them in that cup and you see bubbles and stuff coming off of it, cleaning the dentures. You don't see, a lot of people wearing dentures anymore unless they have some disease or disorder that cause them to have all their teeth pulled, or they have some gum malfunction or some abnormality that caused their teeth, to be so painful that they had to have them removed. I see so many, elderly people now that have all of their teeth. They don't have any partials. They don't have any bridges. They don't have, anything. They might have, some fillings or something like that for cavities, but they don't have any major like reconstructions in their mouth because they learned, from the previous generation that brushing, flossing, and all would help to save your teeth. So wearing, and then too, now I think about it, some people don't want to wear braces, so they get their teeth pulled and they'll get, permanent, what do they call it, veneers put in, and they get a whole new set of teeth that look like real teeth. So they're not like the dentures that, our elders pulled out and placed in a cup. Now they have, a fresh, new, shiny set of teeth that gives them a brand new, look, like their mouth just literally looks younger. Because, you'll see those people that don't have teeth at all and how, their lips are withdrawn. And I guess they have problems, with their gums, and they're constantly rubbing their gums together, and it looks like they're chewing, but they're not, because either A, their gums are itching, or there's some sensitivity that they're trying to calm down that's in their mouth due to their lack of having teeth. So those are, some signs of aging. Another is your hearing. So if you've noticed, as people age, you get a lot of folks asking you to repeat things, or they'll say, "What'd you say?" Or they'll hear you, but they didn't hear exactly what you said. Like almost like the game of telephone, where you tell one person on one end of the little line, and then the next person tell the next person, next person, and then the first person waits until it gets to the end, and the end says what they thought the first person said, and it's all wrong. That's kind of what happens when you start, to age when it comes to your hearing. Now, you got some folks that didn't respect, their ears growing up, and they listen to loud music, or not even that they didn't respect it. Like, say for instance, if they worked in an environment that consisted of blasting or loud machinery, things of that nature that causes the hearing to deteriorate, then over years, over time, you notice the effects. So it appears to be, a sign of aging as well. So age is more than just a number. It's your body actually going through the process of getting older. So something else that you wouldn't necessarily think about, I guess, when you think about aging, is like your fingernails and your toenails. So when's the last time you actually saw an elderly person's, foot who doesn't necessarily go to get a manicure or pedicure? You'll notice that their toes or their toenails are extremely thick, and the skin on their feet is rough and thick as well. That's also a sign of aging. When you can start, it almost looks like strata, on the toenail as it gets so thick. So that's why it's important that if you have aging family members that cannot like bend to cut their toenails or manicure their toes, things of that nature, you should either do it for them or take them somewhere, to where they can get a nice pedicure, get their feet massaged and taken care of, and they'll feel good and they'll look good. And, sometimes getting a pedicure helps to improve, the circulation and your feet and in your legs. And like I said, it makes your toenails, look really nice. So why not, do something nice for someone who is an elder that does not have the ability to take care of their nails or their feet anymore. Okay. So another sign, a physical sign of aging, outside of all the things that I just talked about, think about your digestive system. When you get older, you don't eat as much. Now, I say I'm still waiting on those days because, like, I still like to eat. I like the way food tastes, all that good stuff. But I've noticed that the older people around me, even the ones, that I work with and the ones in my family, the volume of food that they eat is like a third of what they normally ate before. And they won't eat anything the rest of the day. And here I am still eating, 3 meals and 2 snacks. And it's like, they're looking at me like, how are you eating that? I'm like, because I'm hungry. But apparently I'm not, because they're able to do this. They are maintaining, a healthy weight, and they're not sluggish. They're not tired. They're not, all these different things. They're normal selves, but you're noticing that some of them do lose like a whole lot of weight. Because honestly, how many overweight elderly people do you see? So as you age, your body doesn't require as much food and energy as it would if you were younger and growing. So your eating habits also change. So that's like the physical aspect. So let's look at the mental aspect. You ever walk into a room and then you get in there and you say, well, dog, what am I doing here? And then you got to go back and retrace your steps, and you got to do your thoughts. And then when you get to where you retrace your steps, you think of doing something else, then you go do whatever it is. Then you go, dog, I meant to do such and such while I was over there. But that thought of whatever, escaped you. That is also a sign of aging, memory loss. Now, it's not a sign of Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's is a disease. And I already, did a podcast talking about Alzheimer's, dementia, the different stages, the different types. But I'm just talking about general memory loss. Like before cell phones, everyone's memory was amazing. You could remember all the phone numbers that you had to call. You remember people's birthdays. You remember addresses. You could associate names and faces, because you had to remember the number of the person that you were calling, and you had to know who you were calling. Even if it was somebody that you met out that you wanted to go out on a date with, you wrote their number down, you looked at their face, you knew exactly who it was. Now, you got so many numbers in your phone, I guarantee you. If you start flipping through your little contact list, you're going to see somebody say, well, who the heck is that? So cell phones have spoiled us, and they've also not allowed us to use our brains like we used to. We walking around with a little computer, a little storage, instead of using, this brain that we have as storage. So on top, of the memory loss, sometimes, it can affect, your speech. If you notice, some folks as they age, they talk a little bit lighter, their voice is softer, and you have to get closer. It's because their vocal cords are aging. The voices are not as strong, as before. And there's not much, that they can do about that specifically, but that's just another, sign of aging that can affect you, mentally, besides your, memory, your voice, your sound, what makes you you. So then when you start noticing that you have some memory loss, or you start seeing a lot of people that you knew and loved, that you grew up, they're dying, so mentally you're becoming depressed, not because you're necessarily sitting there saying, I'm about to die. You're sitting there saying, so much of life is moving and going, and all the things that I knew and loved, and everything that I could do, everything is changing. Sometimes change is hard, and when change is hard, who do you go to? Who do you talk to about those sorts of things? And when I talk to older people, there's not a lot of them that say, oh, I go to a therapist, or, I talk to someone, or I have friends, I have this, I have that. Most of them just keep it to themselves. If they don't have like children or a spouse or a close friend to talk to, they just hold it in. That's why when you go to some of these nursing homes, some of those people don't even talk anymore, because they feel like, okay, you put them in there, they're abandoned, and everything that they knew and loved is on the outside. But even if they were to go back out there, they wouldn't necessarily know how to navigate it because of how quickly the world changes with technology. So another thing that changes, when you age, is your tolerance level. Like, people before, I'll give you an example. You could call someone up on the phone, and you could lay on the phone, talk on the phone for an hour, 2 hours. I know some elderly folks that call you, tell you what they want, and click, that's it. No, okay, thank you, bye, nothing. It's just like, I called you for such and such and such and such and such and such and such. Of course, like I said, they are nice. They're hello, they give you the greeting and all that stuff. But once they've said what they want to say, baby, that's it. If you didn't get your two pieces in before, they finish talking, then next call for you, because either they've hung up, they away from that phone, because it's not like they walk around with cell phones or anything like that, because some of them, 70, 80, 90, they don't constantly walk around with their cell phones like we do, because we have, learned that trait, but they never learned it because they understand the importance of separating themselves and finding peace in things other than technology. So then another thing that you notice as you age, your attention span shortens. It's almost like you're going back to being a little kid again, because you little, something make a sound, you looking over there, and somebody calling your name, you looking over there, you're running over here, you're picking this up, you're putting this down, but you're not doing it as fast. As you age, you might just start reading the book and say, oh, the heck with this, I don't want to read the rest of this book, let me watch this TV show. You start watching the TV show, and you say, oh, wait a minute, I want to hear my song. You go over there, you turn your song on, and after the song play for a little while, you cut everything off, and you just sit on the bed and go to sleep. It's because your attention span has shortened. You don't want to spend so much time and effort into doing anything that takes a whole lot of your time, because you're starting to say, your time is even more precious as you age. Can't be wasting time. It's one of those things that, when you're young, people say, oh, you got plenty of time. You really don't. You have enough time to do the things that you were designed to do to complete your purpose. But in the process, if you procrastinate and continue to push things off, then you're shortening the time that you are your strongest to do these things, because you age a little bit, each and every day. You can notice things about yourself to let you know, that you're aging each and every day. So I'm talking about all these things because I want you to know that aging is a beautiful thing. Because I'm sure there are people that are out there listening today that wish they still had, a parent, a brother, a sister, or someone that they loved that they lost at a younger age, or that they passed away, when they're older, but they wish they had more time with them. And the more time you have comes with more age. It's not like I can say, I'm 25 and I want 20 more years, but I want to stay 25. No, you're going to continue to progress in age. It just all depends on how you manage the time that you have left. Not knowing how much time you actually have left, you have to live life to the fullest. You can't sit around and like spend your time being angry and always upset about what people have done to you, in the past, or the things that didn't bring you joy. Those are the things that are most vivid in your memory. That shouldn't even take up, any space in your mind, except for you to remember not to go there anymore. But I mean, fill your mind and your heart with things that make you happy. Like if you want to wear makeup and you 95 years old and you want 30-inch wig and you want some platinum 6-inch heels and you want to go, to the club or whatever. I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but I'm saying whatever your heart desires, do not place any limitations on yourself because of your age, unless it's unsafe and could cause you harm. Because what's the point of being afraid of trying something new or living your life, to the fullest? Because I heard a story once where there was this young man. He was with an older man, and they were walking through, this cemetery, and the younger man could see that all of these graves contained people that had dreams, they had purpose, they had thoughts, they had ideas, and all of them went to the grave with him because they were afraid to try. And the young man kept looking at the old man, asking him, why did you bring me here? And the older man turned to him and said, I'm you 50 years, down the road. Don't be like the people that you see. Give me a better, outcome. So anything that you dream of, anything that you are wanting to try, anything that you think that can make a difference, do it. Try it. Don't just let it die with you. Let it live on. Because like I said, you have a specific purpose. There's something great and wonderful about you that only you can do. Don't take it to the grave and wait for the Lord to assign it to someone else. You do it. Take the initiative to do it. Don't let it just be that, oh, you just want to do something wild and crazy once in your life. No, make it make a difference. Make it make sense for you and for your family. Sure, go ahead and wear your little hoochie mama dress or your hoochie daddy shorts and all this foolishness that I hear about now. Do it, if you want to, because I have noticed that, for instance, when I go to the beach down here in Florida, I used to be like, I can't wear a bathing suit because I got this roll over here. I don't know what my back looked like. I got like, dimples on my legs. I got some on my booty. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here thinking all of that. And at the same time, a 90-year-old lady walked past me with a string bikini on. That lady ain't bit more caring or thinking about anyone who is looking at her at that moment. She is more concerned with living her life and her peace. That is one thing that you will gain as you age. And that is self-love. Thank you so much for taking this time out to watch this episode of Embracing the Fight. Age is more than a number. Continue to live. Don't let the constraints and the confines of the world keep you from being your greatest or best self because you are aging. Just take the experience that you have gained in life to grow, to get to the point, to the place where you can shine, to where you can be your very best, to where it makes sense for you. Don't worry about what people say, because what they say and do doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't provide you any form of happiness. All it does is make you think and rethink things that you should just go ahead and do and live and prosper from those things. So, as you age, surround yourself with like minded people and continue to age and walk alongside these people. And you'll see how different your life will be when you learn to care more about how you feel about yourself than how others feel or how others treat you. Thanks again. And as always, I want you all to have an absolute amazing, amazing day.